I'm going to grab my YouTube logo so that I have it. I agree. I'm not stealing YouTube. All right. Now, an EPS is not going to help you in XD because it just makes it a little extra step to import it and work with it. So what I recommend you do is you take anything you've got for an EPS and you save it as an SVG file. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to say Export As. Do I do Export As for SVG? I can't remember. No. Oh, yeah, it is. SVG. So there's my YouTube SVG. Use artboard, export. Fine. Okay? So there's my first piece. Now, I got to do this. You guys will have already done this. I'm going to pull up pictures of the weekend. So I have pictures, okay? And again, the nice part about this, you don't need high-resolution images because they're so small. So I'm going to pull this one, and give me one more, this one. All right, so now I got my images. So, and again, I'm going to go over this quickly because you're going to watch the videos. All right, but I want to kind of give you an overall look at it. All right. So this is XD. If you don't have it down here for some reason, it should be. If you go to your Finder, go to Applications, it'll be right here inside this folder. All right. Pretty plain, pretty simple. All right. By default, everything XD does, it saves to the cloud. All right. So you don't have it, which is kind of nice. You don't have to worry about you can save it to your computer. All right. But by default, it puts it on the cloud. So you're going to create an iPhone XXS L11 Pro document. All right. And this is what's going to happen. So this is your workspace, similar to like an artboard, right? To add another artboard, you're going to use the artboard tool. And all you have to do is click right next to it to make another artboard. Click right next to it to make another artboard. All right. You click on the name, all right? You can go through and change things on this. So I could say this is going to be the home screen. This will be music. This will be info. Whatever you want to name it. Okay, make sure I don't want to hear any clicking. I just want to see you guys watching. All right. So you can rearrange these any way you want because I can zoom this out and like visually I might want this down here because it's part of that page. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to create a splash screen for YouTube. So I'm simply going to click on this right here. And over here in my appearance, I can click a fill and I can just change it. So for now, I'm going to change it to something really horrid. Perfect. All right. So that's that background. Now I'm going to take my SVG file and I'm going to drop it in. To scale, got to hold Shift. All right. You have your smart guide, so I can scale this. All right. If I want to put text in, so I'd click my text tool, click, log in. Again, I can just grab this right at the bottom and scale it, which I find to be super intuitive. To change your font, again, it's right over here. A lot of this is going to feel like Illustrator. It's going to feel like XD. It's going to feel like InDesign. Adobe does a really nice job of kind of keeping everything pretty similar. So I've got my fonts over here. I can pick any font I want. Boom, there's login. I can change the color. Don't think you can miss that. You have fill. You have a border. In XD, they call a stroke a border. All right. So I'm going to change my fill probably just to white. All right. On the next page, this is what's really cool. All right. So I'm going to create a box to put my picture in. And instead of duplicating the boxes, instead of copying the boxes, I can go right over here to this little button that says Repeat Grid. And I'm going to click on Repeat Grid. Now I can drag these down and put as many boxes in as I want. I can also go in between, see how it turns pink, and automatically change the space in between all of them. Super intuitive, all right? Really nice. So let's say I wanted that to be my music page. So now I need pictures of the weekend, all right? And I'm actually just going to put 3 because I only have 3 pictures, all right? And so I'm going to grab all 3 of these pictures, and I'm going to drag and drop them right on here and watch what happens, okay? Boom, boom, boom. All right, now, I don't know why it didn't do what it usually does, which is, oh, see that? Those aren't images. That's why. I hate the internet sometimes. Hold on 2 seconds. Those are web files, and that's why they're not working. That's freaky enough. That's a JPEG. Nope, it's a web image. But I want to steal your pictures. I know, but it gives me a little bit higher resolution if I do that. I can grab this, yes, and I can get my JPEG, but it's not as great. But we'll do it for now. So, if I grab my 3 pictures and I drop them in here, it automatically places them. You can double-click inside, and you can change the image inside of that. You see how it already has like a mask or a crop to it? Double-click. All right. So, and again, I can go back to my path here, and I can make more boxes. I can click in between, and since I only have 3 now, I can spread these out a little bit. All right. And I'm going over super fast. You're going to learn all this in the videos. All right. So then the next step, maybe I've got text over here about the artist, right? So I grab the text box. Where are you? There you are. And we'll fill it with it. Okay? So generally, that's pretty particularly easy in terms of what you're going to do. And that's what you're going to do. Now, there's tips on transitions and things like that that they're going to go over, and I'll show you that in a second, okay? Now, when you're doing your digital wireframe, none of that matters, okay? So I can go back here, make my new file. All right. All I'm going to do is you need 3 pages or 4 pages. There's 1, 2, 3, okay? So there's your 4 pages. The first thing you're going to do is you might put a box here for where your logo is going to be. You might put a box here for where your text is going to be. There's my login. You might put your boxes. Some of you have photos that you're going to do. You maybe put those here. Maybe use the repeat grid to put your boxes here, okay? Again, maybe you've got text boxes here. This is what your digital piece is going to look like when you do the wireframe. No images, no visuals, but basically like a template for you to drop everything in. All right. And then, I don't know, something else here. Okay, and again, repeat grid can work with circles, which is nice. All right. So, how do you make the magic happen? All right, and what I'll do just to show you is, so you can see the difference. If that one's that color, that one's that color. I'm on point picking colors today. That one's that color. And let's go something purple. Okay? So right now, up here, I'm in design mode. All right? When I click on prototype mode, now I'm in the mode where I'm going to add my parts where the person can actually do stuff with. So let's say you click here. All right? See this little home? You click on that, that means that's the home screen. Okay, you can change which one's the home screen. But obviously I want the main one to be the home screen. So now, I'm going to click this. Well, this takes them here. That's it. If this, now this is a grid, so I have to double click. This will take you here. This brings you back here. This brings you over here. This brings you back to there. Get the idea? Now to see them all, if you just grab the whole thing, you'll see your paths, which should look similar to what you drew. Cool there? That's all it is. That's why I find it so easy. You're like, oh, it's gonna be so good. No, you just pull lines. Now remember, not everything will function on your app. It's not supposed to. I said you just have to make 4 pages, okay? So your whole thing is going to be designed, but some things won't be clickable. Now, what you can do in between there, and there are some other advanced things. I told you can add voice commands. You can add some I don't want you to worry too much about that stuff. If you get it done, you want to experiment a little bit, by all means, experiment. You can actually download the XD app to your phone, all right? And then you can plug it in the computer and you can test your app on your phone, which is kind of cool. Again, these are for developers, all right? Showing a client, hey, this is what your app's going to look like before they program it, all right? So what I can do, I can pick this line, and over here I get some options. So the trigger is tap. Now it's a phone, so the trigger really has to be tap. That's how you tap on your phone, okay? The transitions, there's different transitions. I would stick with straight up transmission. Auto animate, something different. These are kind of a little bit more interactive. I would just stick with transition. But down here you can change what it does. So if I want to see what this does, over here I click the play button. Here's my app. I click here. it does that. Okay? Now, when I'm looking at it, so there's the next one. That does that. That does that. That does that. Okay? Now, I can pull this right over here, and this is nice because I can keep it up and it automatically updates. All right? Let's say, you know what, instead, I want this one, instead of a dissolve, I want it to slide left. Now when you do that, it goes like that. Okay? So, to start, I would say stick with transition, and you can pick also like push up. So now I go back. Let's see, I'm going to navigate my app now. Okay? Does that. Okay? So it is really, I find, super easy to learn. The videos altogether are like 26 minutes, and when you watch those 26-minute videos, you can do exactly what I'm asking you to do, which is not difficult. And I don't think it's difficult because, again, you're just drawing lines. That's the really cool part about it. This takes me here. There's no coding. There's nothing like that involved in it. It's super easy, all right? When it gets to like showing keyboards and stuff like that, that gets a little bit more intricate, and we can go over that. But basically what would happen is you would take, I go back to my design mode, you'd take this. Let's say when I clicked on this and I clicked on login, a keyboard wants to pop up. I would actually take this artboard, copy it down here, okay? And then when I go to my prototyping mode, this would actually take me to here, okay? And then on this screen would be the Apple keyboard. So that when you clicked it, yeah, it's not going to look exact, but when you clicked it, it would come up from the bottom and you'd see the Apple keyboard, okay? Where you get the Apple keyboard is another thing, all right? And I'll show you that in a second, all right? So this is me just quickly showing you what I'm looking for from your digital wireframe, all right? Any questions? All right. Once you've got your digital wireframe where it functions the way it's supposed to, all right, you're going to go back and add your images. That's it, and your text. You should already, hopefully, all right, know what fonts you're using, okay, roughly. You should know what images you're using, hopefully downloaded them, your icons, all of that stuff, okay? So that this part, you know, we've got today, tomorrow, and Friday. This part does not take that long, okay? If you've kept up with the general schedule, some of you might be done by tomorrow, all right? Because this part's the easy part, because I've made you kind of do the other steps in pieces that you could do this, all right? Where you find everything. I'm trying to update this. For some reason, the website is not letting me find the drive folder yet. But here's the videos, which is under Intro to XD. That's where the videos are. Now, when you go back to the main page, the drive folder's here. I'm trying to move the drive folder onto the XD one. It's not letting me right now. But this file right here, this zip file, you're going to download that. So if you go to Drive, all right, I think I have it downloaded already. You're going to download this Quick Start Demo zip. This will be for the videos. And you open this up, or not, okay? I'm going to junk the zip file. Inside here is the demo file that the person on the video is using, and then all of the images that they talk about. So that's in the Quick Start file. Everybody got that? All right, so the Quick Start folder's there. Hopefully, I'm going to try to move it to the right file if I can. Also inside here, okay, is a folder that says templates and samples. All right. Inside here are some different wireframe samples. You want to take a look at that. But really inside your assets folder, all right, this little XD that says design templates, components, guides, Xphone, all right, all this. When I download this, and I believe I have it already downloaded. Yep. All right. So Quick Start Demo is where you go to get that to start your demo. When you start designing, inside this little file here that I've zipped up is this design templates. When I open it up in XD, Apple provides these. You get this straight from Apple. They're developer components. Takes a second. Okay? Here's everything Apple has. So let's see if I can find the keyboard. Ah, over here. So you want the basic keyboard. It's all in one piece. What I would do is just double click. You can get the separate components, okay? But you can basically grab this, copy it, come over here, paste. And I would just double click because I'm gonna get rid of some of these components here. Like I don't want the white, I just want the keyboard. Okay? Now if I preview this, and let's make it fun. Back to prototype mode. This is gonna come push up. All right, I click on this, keyboard. No, it's not exact. No, it's not literally how it exactly is gonna work. But in terms of prototyping, that's the best way there is to do it right now. All right, so that's basically what you would do. So you would end up with, you might have 4 of the pages I want, but you may also have additional pages to do a keyboard or something like that, okay? And that's in that file. Everything's in that file. Like there's everything in here. All kinds of crazy stuff. It's kind of interesting actually. All the pop-ups, all the stuff is in here. So that when this is made for developers, that they can put all this stuff in when they're developing. Okay? So next step for most of you, I think some of you, a bunch of you are still working on your comp, so wrap those up. And then you're going to start the XD part. So the videos and the quick start demo. All right? Cool. Get to it.